Today, I am sitting down with someone who's not only a client of mine, but also a good friend, Kelsey. What makes Kelsey's transformation so impressive is that she's far from a beginner. When we started working together, she had already been training for 10 years, had a ton of experience in the gym, and I believe she did compete as well in the past. But even with all that experience, she still felt like there was, another level that she hadn't been able to reach on her own. So since we started working together, she's gone from 130 pounds to 107, about 23 pounds down, and she's done it while gaining muscle and already starting from a very advanced place. So today, I just want to dig into what she was doing before, what's changed since we started working together, what surprised her the most, and what this entire process has been like for her perspective. So, Kelsey, welcome. We can start from the beginning. Before we even talk about your progress, just introduce yourself. What's your name? Where are you from? How old are you? Things like that.
Hi guys, my name is Kelsey Curall. I am 27, live in Austin. I've been on a fitness journey since I was about 15 years old. So it's been about 12 years since I've been in the gym. I wouldn't say that that whole 12 years has been productive, as many of you have been on a fitness journey know. In my time, I've advanced a lot in just my knowledge. I used to do full-time fitness coaching, and even with all that knowledge, I just got engaged this year to my fiance, Drew. And the wedding is next month. So I really knew it was time to lock in when it came to this next deficit for the wedding. And I just knew it was something that I've never successfully done on my own. I've done cuts and I've gotten to a good place with them, maybe like 10 to 12 pounds down. But I knew for the look that I wanted for my wedding day, I was going to need to hire someone. And Francis was the first person that came to mind. And yeah, so really just the journey of like having all the knowledge, but that execution and that guidance is just really irreplaceable when it comes to coaching.
Love it, love it. Well, so I want to show off your progress really quick because it's absolutely insane. Insane. Just how much progress we've made, right? And I've told you this multiple times, told you this 100 times, but I'm super proud of you. Just the waist, the back, obviously still hitting PRs in the gym.
Yeah.
Really, really looking good. How are you feeling about this?
I feel more like me than I've ever have. And being like 27, I've always said like in my later 20s, I just want to finally get to a place where I have that grown woman physique. Like I want to be able to show off what like the 10, 12 years in the gym. And I feel like that's exactly where I'm at now. My life has changed multiple times from my fitness journey. And this is definitely like it just feels like a new me, and it feels very reflective of the hard work that I've put in over the years.
Absolutely, absolutely. I think even Drew told me her husband, or soon to be husband, was like, I've never seen her lock in this much. So I really appreciate you, seriously, because this is you had the commitment that we talked about in our first call ever. You were like, this is the time I want to do it. And you just did exactly that. Before we even get there, right? Like obviously where you're at right now, I want to kind of go back. Where are you currently at? Like, mindset, like energy, body, like when, before we started working together at that time.
Yeah, I think let's see, we started right at the beginning. I want to say right at the end of February of this year.
Mhm.
Right. I would say before then, I kind of was just in a very complacent place,
Mhm.
complacent with my goals, my eating. Even though I know that I wasn't on point, I just kind of was like, you know what? Like, I've kind of was at that point for so long that I just kept putting it off. Like, I knew that I wanted to, be in the best shape of my life. But it was just one of those things where it's like you always have that obstacle that comes up from like in your mind, keeping you from locking in.
Mhm.
So I just feel like I kind of was complacent. I'm like, I look pretty good. Like you see my muscle definition, but I'm really enjoying like just doing whatever I want. Until I got engaged and I was like, I would not be happy if I went into my wedding day looking like this. So
Mhm.
I would say definitely complacent. I'm a macro whiz. Like, I mean, not to toot my own horn, but I don't think anyone knows how to track macros like I know how to track macros. So, um, definitely just like complacent and floating around, not really having a goal I was aiming for.
Absolutely, absolutely. And so I know you mentioned you've done cuts by yourself in the past, right? Where you would
Mhm.
lose like 10 pounds and so, and then obviously now we made a ton of progress, 23 pounds down. So I guess like
Mhm.
even before that, right?
Yeah.
Before we started working together, like what do you feel like was your biggest challenge with, actually fully locking in fully and fully getting the results before us working together?
Yeah, self-sabotage.
Mm,
100%. Before we moved to Austin, we were in Vegas and I did a cut on my own and got to a point where I was about 10 pounds down and I started seeing definition in places that I wasn't seeing before the cut
mhm.
and just kind of in the place where it's like, this is enough. It's like
Mhm,
uh, not really knowing how to push myself mentally
mhm,
and knowing not really being able to give myself that temperature check of like, hey, like keep going, go harder, go longer.
yeah.
Uh, I kind of got to that place where I was just starting to see the results, and I was like, okay, that was it. Like I never really set not only a hard goal for hard goal for myself, but a high standard. Yeah, like
Mhm.
I was always just kind of like selling myself short on what I could do. It became a point where the mental barrier was like the biggest struggle.
This is something that I see with a lot of people, right? Where they sell themselves short of their goals because sometimes you get to a certain point, you still don't see yourself as that next level 2.0 version of yourself yet, and still since you still see yourself as that old person that
Mhm.
you're trying to transform from, you end up self-sabotaging back to who you were before, right? And so obviously now, like I have a high standard for you, right? And getting to that next level, especially since, obviously you only get one wedding, I guess like at that point, what made you take the leap in joining and also like just getting help?
I think I was just sick of my own shit,
Because
and
I
I
know it was hard in the beginning, right?
yeah, it definitely was. I think being sick of my own shit and just looking back at the patterns, being able to truly identify the patterns, right? I'm constantly self-sabotaging when I get in cuts. I'm never setting like a high enough standard for myself. And although on paper I know exactly what I need to do to get there, there's a disconnect. Sometimes it's easier kind of being a people pleaser. It's a little easier for me to say, okay, Francis, like I have a coach. If I have a coach, that is another layer of like accountability, but
Mhm,
also like don't want to be a client, especially as a previous fitness coach. I don't want to be a client that just fucks off, doesn't listen to their coach, and just, falls off, ghosts their coach. So I knew, okay, if I lock in with Francis, there's no way I'm letting him down. And obviously I didn't want to let myself down either because if I tried to do it myself, I knew I would have quit way before. Being tired of my own shit and being realistic with myself. Like sometimes you have to be real with yourself. Like put the pride aside and realize that if I have a pattern of not seeing this all the way through, something needs to change. I need something to disrupt that pattern
mhm.
for me to see a different end result. So that was really what pushed me into working with you.
Absolutely, absolutely. And it's weird, right? Because the definition of insanity is doing the same thing over and over again, expecting a different outcome, right?
Mhm.
And for a lot of people, they kind of don't really see that until they break that pattern. And it's like, oh shit, like that was it, right? That's what
Yeah.
I was doing. I kept trying to do the same thing year after year.
Mhm.
And that's something I talk about a lot. It's like this is how like people end up just living the same 6 months over and over again. They get to 30, 40, 50, just still the same, right? And so we're 23 pounds down,
Yep.
um, looking the best you've ever looked, right?
Mhm.
So I want you to talk about it. Like what have you achieved, like whether it's like mental, physical, and how do you feel now?
I feel amazing. Like I feel physique wise, this is this is what I've always wanted. Like waking up every morning and not like just feeling confident in anything that I put on.
Mhm.
I will say it has sucked to get a whole new wardrobe, but I mean, at the end of the day, I'm happy with the way that I look. And yeah, it's kind of surreal to do something for so long and going through like a true cutting phase where we pushed, seeing
Mhm.
that end result, and seeing it go like not just in the way that I look in the mirror and how I feel about that, but just in my daily habits. Like obviously a lot more energy, just kind of having a new set point of what I need to do to maintain that.
Mhm.
Um, because when you are constantly in a place of complacency, you only know what that maintenance is, right? I know how to not like gain weight from here. But now that we're at a point where like I've lost 23 pounds, I'm like, I know what to do and what it looks like to maintain this like at like advanced level physique.
Yeah. Yeah, absolutely, absolutely.
Yeah.
And I guess you with just like all the progress that you've seen,
Mhm.
is there anything that kind of stuck out to you? Whether like even if it's not, if it is physical, then physical, cool. But if even if it's like just a mindset, a belief in yourself where like things kind of shifted.
I think the most surprising shift is just the way that you build the confidence in the process and the way
Mhm.
like carrying yourself and the type of decisions you make after that. That's the biggest thing like mindset shift wise is like truly being able to weigh out like what the best version of you would do
Mhm.
versus maybe the past version or like someone that doesn't have the same goals as you. I would definitely say confidence has been a big thing. I would just say the lifestyle habits, the confidence, and just truly feeling like that surreal feeling of getting like reaching your goal.
I think when you go through like obviously when you set a goal that's like big, right? And then you actually hit that goal, just the confidence in like your own abilities.
Hmm.
It's like okay, if I do set my mind to something, I can actually get there,
Yeah.
right?
Mhm.
Especially since, 23 pounds down, like, this cut compared to like your last cuts where you tried to do by yourself, like insane. And I've said
Yeah.
this multiple times, but I'm really proud of you, seriously. And so I guess for you, I did want to ask you, so for there is a lot of people that sell themselves short of their goals. There is a lot of people that are afraid to take that next step, even though they are living that same year over and over again, right?
Mhm.
Let's say a good friend of yours were interested in either joining the program or just getting help in general. Would you recommend that friend to go through the program and why?
Absolutely. I honestly have already been recommending Aesthetic Dream to really anyone that brings up their goals just because I know what it's like to be stuck in this almost like pride loop of like, I know everything I need to do. I just need to
Mhm.
do it. Truthfully, like we talked about with patterns, like you do need something to stop you in your tracks and be that disruptor. I just feel like from the moment I started, not only you're not on my ass in a way of like berating or anything like that, but like you're making sure I stick to my word. Like there's nothing that like can compare to that level of accountability
Mhm.
and just the attention to detail. And there was definitely things that like you've taught me throughout this process never would have thought about, never would have came across my mind. And just that level of nuance, like a lot of times you can't do it alone, like
Mhm.
reaching if you have this goal, this high standard for yourself, if you're really trying to reach that next level, that's not really something you're going to be able to break through on your own. Trust me, I've tried it, and I'm sure I know a lot of people have too. That's why we see a lot of people in that cycle. And it's like, if you don't want to live the same year over and over again, you need something to change that. And having a coach, having Francis as your coach, will 100% hold you accountable to that high standard. Even when you don't have that, like if you don't feel like you have that high standard yet for yourself, you hold that for your clients. And I think until we believe it. So I feel like that's the biggest part. It's like not only do you have enough belief for your client to get them there and to get them to believe in the goal, and then
Mhm.
you know exactly the steps that need to be done to get there. Um, and so I would 100% recommend the program, especially if you've been someone that's just stuck in that loop and you think you know what you need to do to get there and you just haven't gotten there yet.
Love it. Love it. And I'm so excited to see you in that wedding dress because I know you talked about like, oh, like I had to get a new wardrobe and kind of sucks, but I mean,
Hmm.
let's think about how you're gonna look in that wedding dress, right? So I'm excited for your day. I'm so excited for your day, for
Yeah,
you and Drew. But yeah,
you'll be.
so you can go. You can go.
I said you'll be there to see it. So we got
Yeah.
one more month.
So, obviously now, like, we're at this point where, I think it was like 2 weeks ago, you were like, okay, I'm happy now. Like, we're good. Like, we can start reversing. Like, the goal now, obviously, is to eat more food, keep this physique as lean as possible while we teach your body how to eat more food, right? Which
Mhm.
I know already taught you that process, and we're going through that right now.
Yeah,
But yeah, what's next for Kelsey? What's for the future for you?
I'm trying to ride off into the sunset. I'm trying. I really do. I'm very happy with where I'm at now. I think the biggest goal now is to see how lean I can stay through this reverse and then yeah, I mean, get the wedding done and then you never know. I mean, I know I don't like to make any definitive claims, but with the way that I feel and the way that like this cut has gone, I feel like I may be ready to set some, maybe some goals like physique goals again. Because I've always
Oh,
said that like I've always said cutting was like the biggest thing. And then I'd ride off to the sunset with that. But yeah,
never
we'll
know.
see. You never know.
Absolutely. And that's the thing, right? Sometimes when you break through that plateau, or not even the plateau, but a point where you've never gotten before, it gives you more belief where it's like, okay, like what's next, right? Like
Mhm.
I could definitely hit this next one. So one thing at a time. We got the wedding coming up. You look shredded. You look the best you've ever looked. So I'm excited, but yeah, I appreciate you for coming on. Unless there's anything else that you want to tell everybody before we head out.
That's it. Hire the aesthetic dream, guys. You will change your life. That's my last tidbit.
Awesome, Kelsey. Well, thank you so much. And yeah, I'll talk to you soon.